All right, let's look at emotional design. So what we've just seen was ingredients for emotional design. And so color and all the design principles and the interaction design, what you can think of for having an engaging design or having an immersive design. And here we have two examples of an emotional design. On the left we have Interstellar, the black hole scene, and where he's falling into this black hole, and I hope you saw the movie because it's a bit of a spoiler alert. So in the end of the movie he falls into this black hole and provokes a lot of feelings of fear, wonder and curiosity. And with the style here, and also the Gestalt way of making this and how he's placed in it makes it really like, ooh, there's fear, yes, but there's also curiosity, like, wow, what's happening all around me. The same here on the right, there is the Top Gun with Tom Cruise, and well, he's speeding up here, and it's especially extremely provoked feelings of excitement, motivation, and adventure also in his face, but also because his jet is there, like, let's take off, let's do this. So in this way, you can, with composition, with colors, can provoke this emotion also in the viewer. And other aspects also handy to think of, like for example here there is stress. Why? Because there is water, and water is associated with emotions. If you dream of water, for example, there's lots of emotional things that you're unconsciously or consciously dealing with. That's being used here, and this is more calm. Yet there is here some blood and everything. This is also a bit creepier than this. This is more like, anxiety alert, you know. And so you can think of all aspects like fire, wood, metal, and all these aspects also address certain emotional responses. We won't go through all of them, but you can do your research on this and be aware of what are you using and how are you using this in your levels, in your designs. And Disney is very good at this. Here's a little example of a shot within in a Disney animation. And here Bambi is left alone by his family or father. And you can see that he's afraid and spooky, and then you can see that because of this black and how is he put in here, and also the sharpness of everything. Then he's like getting more confidence in exploring in the world, and with this confidence and with this more calm, you can see that also in this, the snow gives calm, the smoothness of the material gives calmness, and then all of a sudden something happens, something is approaching, and he needs to run, and then like a lightning strike through the whole thing, he's cut off. Yeah. And this also put in the visual emotional design. And here he found some friends, and you can see the color change. The color change way warmer, and he's having more cozy harmonic experience. And here again some more warm tones, and here he sees something that could be intimidating. So it's put with a backlight, you can't really see who it is or what it is, and it's intimidating. It's still dark, and it's with frog perspective again, so it makes it bigger. The opponent is bigger than you, and then it's still like, okay, what's this? Oh, it's his father, or maybe it's a vision of his father, which is really intimidating because it's really like, I'm here, or I'm here to rescue. It could also be. And then later on, I will skip these two. Later on, he will see his father, but way more approachable because it's from a flight or a bird perspective. And so now he's more approachable. He's more on Bambi's level. Yeah. All right. So emotional design for games. Emotional design techniques which you could use is relating to a NPC, non-player characters. Relating to other player characters, you could use cinematics, which we were going to talk later on. You could use world induction or role induction, in this to have an emotional response. You can add depth to the game through symbols, and you can have, of course, an opening cinematic where you get sucked into the theme, the story, and so forth. Yeah, and emotions in games are also controlled by the 3 C's, which is the controls, the camera, and the character. And of course, the controls, you can have your own response and then your own energy going into it, and the camera movement can emphasize this, and the character also the mimics of the character and so forth are expressing emotions. And I thought of Doom, and of course Doom, the avatar here below, was one of the first games that took you in an emotional state of the avatar you're playing. And here he's I don't know what he's doing here, but he has lots of like tension and killing all these monsters. And let's see a little bit of it. It's like here, like and then this was really revolutionary at that point. Let's see if he's like more or less dying or what happens to him. Yeah, he's still lots of health, but if his health goes down, his face will accordingly change into a state of that he has some blood out of his nose, that he's slowly like losing. And now he's almost dead. As you can see, he's looking very grim, and now he's more health and he looks great again. So you can see that all these aspects are very important for level design. So to have an emotional response, but not just the emotional response, to have this immersions, to have an experience. You want an experience, you want somebody to be involved in your game. And also this level and also all the other aspects that are adding to this level are important for this emotional response, emotional design. So let's move on.